All right, guys, September 9th is the day. That's when we're going to find out what is actually coming out with this Surprise and Shine event that Apple just sent out invites for. Not to me, but, to everybody else. But is this foldable iPhone really going to cost us $2,500? And if so, is it just going to fail right off the top like the Vision Pro? Or is it just going to be bought by a bunch of YouTubers and then returned in 14 days? I wanted to take a look at the latest rumors and see if these features even match up with this price point here in 2026. So let's get right into it. So it's not often that we actually get a new form factor when it comes to iPhones. Since 2007, they've relatively been the same. Just a slab of glass for a handful of years. Then when we got the 6Ss, we then got the plus size, which that was to catch up to the growing screen sizes of different Android phones. Then in 2017, we got the all-screen iPhone 10, followed by the XS Max, which gave us another larger screen in 2018. 2020, they went mini with the 12 and 13 in 2021. And I loved that phone, but nobody bought it. Then they just took off the mini, went back to the plus size instead, and again, nobody bought it. So last year, they scrapped that. They went with the super slim phone in the iPhone Air. Again, I love that phone, but nobody bought it. So that brings us to folding phones. And Samsung's been already doing this for about 8 years now. Rumors came out that Apple was gearing for more of a passport-shaped wide fold that was almost like an iPad mini when it was opened up. Now, just like last year, Samsung got news of Apple's doings and they fast-tracked their super thin phone with the S25 Edge to come out right before the iPhone Air. This year, they've done the same thing. They're building the screen for the foldable iPhone, so they wanted to come out with their fast-tracked version of a wide phone. And that was the Galaxy Fold 8. And it seems to be a hit this year. But now back to Apple's phone. If it's going to be called the Ultra, is it actually going to live up to that name? Because what we're hearing is this phone is not even going to have Face ID, which Apple has been telling us for almost a decade now that that is the better biometric system. And they're not going back to Touch ID when it comes to their high-end devices. That's what really differentiates the iPad Pros from the rest of the lineup. The Pros have Face ID. The Air, the Mini, and the base model, they all have Touch ID. So Touch ID doesn't sound very ultra in my opinion. Now to the cameras. Ever since the Pro phone lineups came out with the iPhone 11s, they've all had a 3-camera system. Now, it sounds like we're just going to be getting 2. We're going to be getting the wide and the ultra wide, leaving out that telephoto lens. Again, I've had the Air for the last year. First time without a telephoto lens since they came out, really. And it hasn't been too ultra. Now, another one is MagSafe. This has been a staple on the iPhone since 2020. So even up to last year or a couple years ago, when the budget iPhone, the cheapest iPhone you could buy, the 16E came out without the MagSafe magnets built in, people were not happy. And so to do that on a phone that's going to be costing the same price as a MacBook Pro does not seem ultra to me. Okay, so let's look at the price. And I want to bring Samsung back in the fold. You see what I did there? Apple is thought to be, you're paying Apple tax. It's going to be the most expensive manufacturer for your tech gear, for your phones and things like that. But over the past handful of years, it hasn't actually been that way. I wanted to break down the pricing between Samsung phones and how it compares to Apple to see, okay, where are we getting the price differences here? Because on the base Galaxy S26, that phone is $900. The equivalent, the iPhone 17, that's $800. Now, there is no smaller Pro phone when it comes to Samsung, but they do have a Galaxy S26 Plus, which is around the same size. It's actually probably bigger than the smaller Pro, but that comes in at $1,100, which is the same price as the 17 Pro. Now the thin phones, the S25 Edge, that came in at 1,100 bucks. When the Air came out, it was 1,000. So cheaper again with the iPhone. The S26 Ultra, which is the Mac Daddy of them all from Samsung, at least with their slab phones, that comes in at 1,300 bucks, where the 17 Pro Max was 1,200. Now, I know that prices are likely going to rise with the iPhones here this year, but the 17 lineup and the S26 lineup, those were, mere months apart. Now, when it comes to the more budget models even, the Samsung is more expensive with the S25 Fan Edition at 650 bucks compared to the iPhone 17e, which was released this year, at 600. So now to the folds. The Galaxy Fold comes in two different sizes. There's the Fold Ultra, which is a bigger screen, but also comes with the telephoto lens, so 3 lenses total on the back. And that one is $2,100. The smaller size, that's more comparable to what the iPhone is going to be, that one's $19. Google Pixel also just released their new folding phone, and that's $1,900. So if the rumors are true, how the fuck is Apple going to come out with something that's $2,500 for these features that they're giving up? So I don't know. Surprise and shine, baby. Of course, you could say, well, this is an iPhone and an iPad mini, squeezed together. But really what we're looking at is kind of a base iPhone with 2 lenses and a really good, probably 120 hertz display OLED iPad mini. So a good iPad mini, but then just doesn't have Apple Pencil support. So for the same price as a 17 Pro, an iPad mini, an Apple Watch 11, and AirPods Pro 3, that'll cost you less than $2,500. And on a side note, I am a heavy iPad user, and I actually hate the iPad mini because mostly of Touch ID. So we'll see how that works out. All right, guys, so what's the verdict? Is this phone actually worth it? Am I going to be picking it up? And the answer is, I'm a YouTuber. Of course I'm going to be trashing this phone all the way until the release dates, follow all the leaks and rumors, and then actually buy it when it releases. Yeah, I am.